Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This past Sunday's sermon on the foundation of the church was just so good, and I thought it'd be helpful to do a quick review, just to get us ready for our small group discussions on Wednesday. So let's get these big ideas fresh in our minds so we can really dive deep when we all meet up.
Right out of the gate, we got hit with this question. It seems so simple, right? Do we go to church or are we the church? But man, it really makes you stop and think. It forces you to check your whole perspective. Are we just consumers who show up for an hour or two on Sunday? Or is this something way deeper? Is it actually who we are?
And yeah, the answer to that question is pretty clear. The biggest, most fundamental shift we can make in our thinking is to really get this. We are the church. It's not about a building we visit anymore. It becomes about an identity that we carry with us everywhere we go, all the time. And when that clicks, it changes everything. It means our mission, our work, it doesn't just happen between the four walls of a building. Being the church is a 24/7 kind of thing. It's this constant call to live life together, united, set apart for God, no matter where we find ourselves. Okay, so let's dig into this a bit. If we are the church, this group of people called by God, then what exactly is our foundation? What's holding this whole thing up? I thought this comparison was so powerful. Think about pretty much any other organization out there. A company, a school, you name it. Their foundations, their core principles are always shifting. New research comes out, technology changes, and they adapt. But the church, it's completely different. Our foundation is set in stone. It's permanent. It is absolutely non-negotiable. And here it is. This is the crucial point. Our foundation isn't a program. It's not a philosophy. It's not a set of rules. It's a person. It's Jesus Christ. That's it. Full stop. Everything we are and everything we do has to be built on Him and Him alone. So, if we're a people built on Jesus, what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it's so important to get this right. This isn't like joining a club where you just show up for the benefits. It's about committing to a deep, shared life together. And to really drive this point home, this sermon used this incredible analogy. Just imagine walking up to your absolute best friend in the world and saying this to them. Hey, I want to be your friend. Can you even imagine the reaction? It's unthinkable. But the point was, that is exactly what we are saying to Jesus when we say we love him, but then we refuse to love and commit to his bride, the church. You just can't separate the two. A real relationship with Jesus automatically means a real relationship with his people.
There's this fantastic Greek word that nails this idea perfectly, koinonia. We translate it as fellowship, but it's so much bigger than just having coffee after the service. It means our lives are tangled up together. Your struggles are my struggles. Your joys are my joys. We are genuinely in this thing together.
And another beautiful picture for this comes from the book of 1 Peter. We are living stones. Just think about that for a second. Christ is the cornerstone, the main stone that gives the whole building its shape and stability. We, as believers, are all the other individual stones. And the Holy Spirit, he's like the mortar, binding us all together into one spiritual house. And here's the kicker. Every single stone is essential. Every one of us has a critical part to play. Okay, now this part is really fascinating. Even though our foundation in Jesus is completely secure, that doesn't mean we can just sit back and relax. We have a huge responsibility to build on that foundation the right way. And the sermon gave us both a really serious warning about the dangers of drifting away, but also an incredible promise of ultimate victory. And listen to how serious this warning is. Paul says, if anyone, and he means anyone, even an angel from heaven, comes and preaches a different gospel or tries to lay a different foundation, let them be accursed. This is not a small deal. This has eternal weight. And just so we feel the full weight of that word, anathema, or accursed, it means to be totally handed over to a curse, condemned, and cut off from the people of God. I mean, wow, that just goes to show how fiercely God protects the foundation of his church and the truth of the gospel.
And if you want a historical reality check, just look at the 7 churches in the book of Revelation. It's actually pretty sobering to read. 5 out of the 7 were in deep, deep trouble. Why? Because they had drifted from their foundation. They'd lost their first love for Jesus. They'd grown lukewarm. They'd allowed false teaching to creep in. It's a huge warning for us today to stay vigilant.
But, and this is a huge but, right alongside that heavy warning, we get this absolutely incredible, unshakable promise from Jesus himself. He says, "On this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." So no matter what happens, no matter how much the world rages against it, the final victory for the church is already guaranteed.
So what does this all mean for us? Where does that leave us right here, right now? What's our part in all this? How do we, as these living stones, actually participate in building a church that honors its one true foundation?
Well, the call isn't for us to be perfect right away. It's a call to persevere. It all starts with being humble and admitting, hey, we are not a perfect church. From there, we have to commit to what was called the struggle of building together. It's messy sometimes, and we have to remember this whole process of becoming more like Jesus is progressive. It's a lifelong journey. And through it all, the most important thing we can do is just cling to our foundation, Jesus and his word.
So, as we wrap up this little review, let this be the question that really gets us thinking and prepares us for our discussion on Wednesday. Let's make it personal. What is one practical way, just one thing, that you can do to help build our church on the true foundation this week? Can't wait to hear what you all come up with.